So we're talking about what you call attracting foreign investment. It's called how attractive is your country, your region, and by extension, the continent when it comes to foreign direct investment into critical sectors of manufacturing, infrastructure, power, rail, and everything else, including bridges and water dams. So quite a lot of money flowing to the African continent. But the three biggest FDI destinations for 2017 were Ethiopia, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. So let's have a bit of a conversation, of course, within Nigeria. Within the context of that, studios at the Nigerian Stock Exchange is where Henry Egbiki is joining us. He's the regional managing partner at EY, West Africa. Mr. Henry Egbiki, good morning. It's good to have you on the show.
Good morning, Bossen. How are you today?
Thank you very much. Very interesting report you folks put out a few weeks ago. Give us the highlight of this. FDI into Africa is increasing, but not at the pace at which we would want it to cover those infrastructure, whatever attractiveness gap that we need. Why is this so?
Yeah, we all know that Africa in the last couple of years has been hit by very strong economic headwinds. But this year, we're seeing that tide turning. So from its lowest, growth ever over the past 20 years, in 2017, Africa has posted a modest, recovery. That's why we titled our report, "The Turning Tides." This year, the IMF predicts that Africa growth will be at about 3.4% compared to 2.8% in 2017. When you unpack this, we see divergence across the continent. We see multi-speed growth across the continent. We see, the low growth economies of South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe. We see the high growth economies of Ghana, Mozambique, and of course all the eastern regions. And of course, in between, we see the oil giants of Nigeria and Angola, lying in between. What we've also seen on the back of this, the foreign direct investment also increased by 6.2%. In terms of project numbers, it moved from 676 to 718. What we've also seen from the report is that we've seen a more competitive spread across the regions. Before now, we found that regions like West Africa, regions like East Africa commanded very marginal, foreign direct investment. You had more concentration in countries like South Africa. But this year, we see 4 of the regions, West Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa, and North Africa, actually commanding almost an even spread, with East Africa leading the way at 27%, followed by North Africa at 26%, followed by West Africa at 24%, and South Africa at 23%. What we've also seen, Bossen, is a shifting in the investment into the countries. You find South Africa that's traditionally been the clear leader. You find that South Africa being challenged this year by Morocco. Both of them actually now occupy the top spots. In terms of South Africa, the project number actually decreased from about 139 to 96, whereas a country like Morocco moved from 81 projects to 96 projects. So in terms of their share of the total the investment into Africa, they are both commanding 13% each. Of course, followed by Kenya. Kenya moved from 40 projects to 67 projects, recording about 68% growth. Followed by old Nigeria. We moved from 51 projects to 64. Of course, Ethiopia jumped 7 places to actually become number 5 in terms of attractiveness to foreign direct investment. We've also seen, matured markets still consolidating their holds. Investment from Europe, North America is still solid. But you find decline in the emerging market investment. If you look at countries like North America, they've actually increased their investment by 43%, Europe by 17%. But in terms of the emerging markets of Asia Pacific and the intra-Africa investment, that have declined by 12 and 13%.
Okay, nice one. Laying the groundwork for the distribution of inflows and all of that. Thank you very much. But again, the key question is what informs foreign direct investment into projects and countries? What are investors looking to see before they bring in their money?
I think clearly you will see, if you look at a country like Morocco, you see, I think it goes with the GDP growth rates in the country. He also talked about the ease of doing business in a country, also the condition for private investment in terms of entrepreneurship, the openness of the economy to private investment. I think these are some of the considerations. Again, if you look at the distribution, you find that countries that are actually involved, had initiated economic reforms are leading the way. Morocco, Ethiopia, for instance, the new government has opened up its economy. There's a lot of investment going to textiles, for instance. There's also a lot of, they've opened up other shipping sector, the aviation sector, to foreign direct investment. And they are focusing on ensuring that they up their game in improving the economic, the business, environment. I think these are the main things that, the main factors that investment look at, ensuring that there's consistency in policy. There's also, they want clarity in policy. They want certainty in policies.
Henry Egbiki, managing partner at Regional Managing Partner, EY West Africa. Thank you very much for your time today, for joining us for this conversation.